We're recording. Oh shit.
Get off your phones and everything.
What are you on about? I haven't got my phone. 3, 2, 1. And we're live.
No, I need to do this. Phones. Is that on?
Yeah.
You're on. Stop. Okay. Right. James, you do it. So it's James's phone. It's for you two. It's for both of your mics.
There.
Perfect.
Could have just clapped at the end.
Genial.
That's what we
Do
do.
it all.
Classic. That's what you used to do at summer camp. You clap at the end.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, but Rennie was like, clap.
Okay. Welcome to the Lights Out podcast with me. My name is Rennie. And I've got my two best friends here, my co-stars. Go on, give us a little bit about yourselves, guys.
Are you going to go first?
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm Jack. Rennie's best friends, it seems. But personally, I wouldn't regard him as one of my...
You've been promoted in the last 5 minutes. James, can you get close to your microphone, please?
Sorry.
I just had to burst through my levels to say that.
So yeah, I'm Jack, and I'm really excited to be here on this Lights Out podcast and see what exciting things we'll get up to. So yeah, now I'll pass you on to James to tell... He's going to tell...
Cheers, mate.
He's going to tell you a little bit about himself.
Hey, I'm James.
How old are you, James?
I'm 25. I'm from Brighton.
25. I thought you were 24. You're even older than I thought.
No, I turned 25 in
You
November.
are old.
Yeah.
He knows.
And I'm definitely the most...
Mature.
Oh, yeah. Let's go with that.
Welcome to the Lights Out podcast, where we will, other than today's episode, which we're treating as sort of like a pilot, because we haven't got anyone in for this week. So it's just going to be us introducing ourselves, introducing you to the new show, where we're basically just going to be getting a guest on and asking them what their scariest story is, ghost story. I always wanted to make a podcast. I thought this would be a good idea because all podcasts basically are good podcasts anyway, is just talking to some guest. And usually most podcasts have like a thing of like what it is you're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And I thought sometimes you can't get certain guests on because they don't have experience in that. But now we can get any guest on because I feel like everyone's got a ghost story.
It's going to be quite relaxed, quite chilled. It's not scripted.
Even if
see what happens.
Even if you don't like believe in ghosts, I don't believe in ghosts. I've got a ghost story because like my parents have one, and so like I've got stuff to tell. I feel
That's
like
not your ghost story then.
No, but I've got one to tell. You know what I mean? Like if we get someone on here that like me doesn't really believe in it, then
I could phone my dad. I think he's got one. I don't know when he finishes work, but
okay. Well, we'll have a look.
Because he's got quite a few
Dabble into that later.
ghosts in the skeletons in the closet.
But do you guys believe in ghosts?
Yep.
Yes,
100%.
definitely.
You both believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
or
actually pretty
spirits,
good.
like
You live in something.
definitely.
Something's there.
My
Yeah.
sister used to
I
work
don't
at...
not believe.
My sister used to work at Chatham Dockyard, and it's a haunted place. And now I've seen a recording of a ghost.
Before we go into this more, just as like a base, are either of you religious?
No, I'm not religious.
Yeah,
at all.
within some aspect, yes.
Were you born into it and now you're
No,
like, not really? Oh, you're born again?
I was born again, yeah.
No way, born again into what?
Christianity, I say.
I like it. Was that on your...
When you went to America,
when you
on
went on your
travels.
little...
Yeah, I think it's an American mindset of it. Believing in God, believing in a greater power.
And guns and stuff.
Everything happens for a reason.
And walls.
and guns
Oh, I
and
like
stuff.
it. I like it. So I don't believe in it. I'm atheist.
Neither.
You're atheist. But you're atheist, but you still believe in ghosts.
Yeah, well,
Tell us
I
about
don't
that.
believe
There's totally different...
I don't believe in God.
No, well-
theism is to do with God.
Why
But,
don't you believe in God?
All right.
well,
Why are we here?
That's not what this podcast is about.
I don't care. Why are we
the
here?
big questions.
What do you mean? Why we're here? I
Podcast.
don't know. To drink some water and talk about ghost stories. That's why we're here right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that's too much big question to ask on a Wednesday morning. Is it
Sorry,
morning
it's
still?
afternoon
I'm not
now.
asking you if you believe in God or why you do or why you don't. I'm
What's it
asking you-
called when you're open to the concept? Agnostic.
Agnostic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're open to the concept of like
But I don't believe.
things bigger than yourself.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like what right do we have to say no?
Yeah.
Are we all
Fair
a
enough.
simulation?
But there you go. I don't know.
I sort of stand by that. I don't know why we're starting with this. This is a bit heavy as a first topic. I sort of am in the kind of group of just like, we haven't got any evidence that I can see that I would believe in. So until then...
You're here?
Yeah, I know, but like, whatever. So a fish, like what a fish got, like, you say, why are we here? Like, what are we here to do? What are fish here to do?
Don't know yet.
I mean, neither
The
do
big
I.
picture hasn't been created.
Yeah, but I don't think the answer to it is in Christianity. But that isn't the thing. That's not why we're here. You don't believe in God, but you believe in ghosts. Why do you believe in ghosts?
Because I just feel. Because no,
Put it down.
I don't know, because I just do. Because I feel like...
Have you had any experience?
No, but I feel like people's spirits, like their energies, like it has to go somewhere. I mean...
To heaven if you believe in God.
I don't believe in really anything. I don't think there's much higher than just me as a human, which I don't think is a very
So why are you making this podcast?
egocentric
Do
thing.
you believe in Harvey Dent?
What do you mean, why am I making this podcast? People have got
Right, finished.
funny stories that
I'm
they like
off.
to tell. Funny stories, I don't know, scary stories. It's weird because I don't believe in it, but I still get creeped out by it. Like, just because I don't believe in ghost stories doesn't mean I'll be totally fine going to like a haunted house, because I feel like in that respect I'm quite like
Skeptical.
of my own beliefs. So I'm like, yeah, there's probably nothing. Like, I feel like a lot of people who go to a haunted house are going there expecting to see something. I'm going there not expecting to see anything, but I'm still going to be scared. I don't know why. I would put all my money on ghosts not being real, but I would still be scared. It's just like how I know, like in my room when all the lights are turned off, I know I'm safe, but like being in the dark's just scary,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
something
I know
about
what you
being human that's
No.
just like scary.
How old are you? You're
It's
scared of the dark
19.
still?
It was my birthday the other day. Happy
You're
birthday
scared of the
to me.
dark still?
Feliz cumpleaños.
You know, I'll tell you what I'm really scared about. Our levels
You're not
are
scared
wrong.
of the dark. You're scared of things in the dark.
No, I'm not. I'm scared of the dark. There's
What
nothing
can
there.
hurt you? The dark can't hurt you. It's the things in the dark
The
that can hurt
emptiness.
you.
Yeah, no, but it's the idea of darkness. It's the idea of not knowing not knowing that there's nothing there even.
What is the first thing we experience and it's the last thing we experience? Darkness.
Oh, true. That's why I'm so scared of it. I don't want to die. That's it, isn't it? When you die, that's just darkness. But that's
Well,
why.
How do you know
Maybe-
that death
maybe I'm
isn't
trying
is the end?
True, I
Yeah,
suppose.
exactly.
Okay, welcome to our new podcast. It's about religion and whether or not God exists and where we go after you die. No, it's about stories, and I feel like you've got that at this point. I feel like this is going to be a shorter episode than most, because usually we would have a guest with us. Hopefully they're telling their stories, but today it's just us three. So I was going to ask, I don't have any stories about me. Obviously, if something had happened to me, I would believe in ghosts, like if I saw one. Although first I'd probably be
You've
like,
not
maybe
seen
it's like a
Ghostbusters?
projection. I've seen Ghostbusters, but that, Jack, is a film.
Yes.
But Jack said that he hasn't. Have you had any, before we get onto stories that you've heard or stories that have happened to your family, have you personally, I haven't had any experience that's like been like, that must have been something like that, or you think it could have been?
Other than the footage that my sister showed me from Chatham Dockyard.
That is a really good intro to something.
What?
Go on.
It's
Nothing.
definitely
The footage that you showed, you didn't even say, yes, let me talk to you about it. You just said, well, other than the footage.
What is footage?
Go on, tell us about the footage.
So Chatham Dockyard is a old, I guess, dockyard down in the south of England
Boring.
where... No, it's got like all the like...
I'm just talking about the south of England is boring.
South England,
Big
big
up
place in the world.
Big up
So it's full of like just like boats and old like actual naval, what do you call them?
Ships?
Carriers, yeah, and stuff like that.
Vessels.
Yeah.
Yeah, vessels. Let's go with that one. And then in the
Jet skis.
actual, there's a building next to it.
I've just realised
and-
you haven't got your headphones on.
I don't need my headphones on.
All right, okay. Fair enough.
And then on the actual, like next to the dockyard, there's a building, and they all said it's been haunted. And then my sister's ex-fiance, I'm gonna say, husband, maybe, something around there, boyfriend.
You
Don't know.
say sister? You know
Who knows? He showed me footage of a woman walking past one of the windows, and it legit looks like a ghost.
Yeah,
That
so
is
there was
good enough
so
for
there was
me.
someone in there.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah. Why would it be a ghost?
because it's a ghost. It's haunted. Because there was no one in there.
Just because it's haunted. Like, if there's a haunted and then there's someone in there that walks past the window doesn't mean they're a ghost.
They do ghost tours there.
It looked like a ghost. What, could you like see through them?
How do you know ghosts are
What
see through?
does a ghost look like then?
Yeah, exactly.
You've seen one.
White. I don't know.
They look white.
A sheet. It was a person in a sheet, and that's what walked past now.
They have holes for their eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It was banging Halloween outfit.
No, so
And I was like 7 at the time, or
Right.
something ridiculous.
Mhm.
So like
Impressionable.
only 10 years older than Jack. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was impressionable.
Mhm.
So it left like a good
11.
impression on me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And from that, I've always
I think
there
if I
must be
was-
something. Like there's been countless videos or experiences where people felt like a presence around them. You like something moves in the
suppose,
darkness.
But what about
Ooh.
the video made it seem so genuine? What made you believe?
Back in let's say 2000 and
1984.
no, let's
Let's take a step back to my
how
childhood
old,
in the 80s.
how old was I? Let's go 2002 or 3.
If you're 25, when were you born?
1994.
November the
94.
10th, according to his passport.
Yeah, he looked at my passport earlier. Yeah, so it'd have been like 2002, 2003.
Mhm.
So back then, like, the footage is going to be legit. It's filmed on an actual, like, tape. I know you boys find
When
it
was
hard to believe.
Ghostbusters filmed?
What?
When was
Ghostbusters isn't real.
That was the 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. People just manufacture
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't trust the people.
Editing. You're learning editing. You're an editor.
If you know the South,
you taught Premiere Pro to kids. This is your
But your
general
sister's fiance
expertise.
was on the TV and radio course. Did a bit of editing.
I don't even know what you did.
Yeah, bang.
Sorted.
Get a bit
I
of
know they had-
Camtasia
they had like-
Studio
they had
8.
like 3
or
dogs.
What, like 3 at the time?
Yeah, no, I
Probably one.
trust that the people at Chatham are not smart enough to doctor footage.
I feel like if someone, when I was younger, who I trusted, would have showed me something and been like, "This is a ghost," I would have been like, believing them. But I feel like
It's like your dad making you support Man City.
okay, fair enough. But I would then get to the age where I can make my own decisions, and then I would be like, "Is supporting Man City the right idea?"
But I've never seen the footage again.
Or have I just done it because my dad told me to support them? And then I'm like, well, I'm from Manchester, so they're realistically 2 teams that I can support.
But where did you live?
I've grown up my whole life supporting City. I'm not going to swap at this point. I've grown up my whole life talking about how much United are just cheaters. Oh, they're rubbish, even though they won everything. Not anymore, because now we've got money. We're not talking about football. Otherwise, we'd be talking about how bad Brighton are.
Brighton aren't bad.
Well, I suppose they're at their
We
peak
came
right
from
now.
we came from League 1. Yeah, we're at our peak. We came from League 1.
Big up my pa. What's his name? Mapai?
Okay.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, our little striker from France.
I don't speak French. Do you speak French because you went to Canada?
No, it's the other side of Canada.
I don't know how it
French
works.
Canadians.
I don't get that.
Wow. It's why New Orleans has its French quarter, because the French Canadians went down from France and from Canada all the way down to New Orleans.
Well, this is really just a podcast about everything we've done. We've done
Yeah.
religion, we've done football. Really, we've done everything except
Geography.
ghosts so far.
Yeah.
I've seen a ghost and you didn't believe me. I've never seen the footage again.
I'm not counting that as
I'm
we've
not being
talked
funny,
about
but
ghosts.
you were like 2 years old,
I was
and
7.
this is your biggest ghost
your
story
big
ever.
ghost story.
You
is
don't have a
big
ghost story, and neither do you.
Yeah,
well,
but
neither do you.
I don't
Yours
believe it.
yours is a second hand. I
Jack-
could easily.
Jack,
Well,
Jack's is the one where it's like,
Get a
now I
YouTube
really
video.
I really want to know why you believe in it so much. If you haven't experienced it, like
Well,
what is it
I
that people have
have.
told you?
I'm trying to think. No, basically.
I'm not trying to attack you. This is just a
feel
podcast,
like
so I'm
this
just
is
trying to
attack.
make conversation.
Yeah. So basically, I feel like the spiritualist side. I know, like a lot of people don't believe in it, but you know, like spiritual mediums, I do really believe in that. Because
Do
my
you read
family.
your horoscope?
always.
Mediums is in like just as someone who doesn't really know anything about this sort of stuff. Mediums is in like
Is it-
people who tell you what's
yeah,
going to happen.
people. Well, no, people who can like converse with
Right.
people on the other side.
Okay.
Um,
Have you had an experience with that?
yeah, I've had that done before, and I don't know. I know lots of people are skeptical about it, but I just feel like there are genuine people out there. I don't know. I know it's quite a fuzzy sort of subject, but my grandma loves it. My granddad passed away, and she does get a lot of comfort from that.
Yeah.
And I have done it a few times, and they do know, like, they genuinely know stuff about you,
Right.
and like certain dates and things like that, and I don't know.
Like details.
Yeah.
That you don't think they could have
Big
got
details,
from other
yeah.
places.
yeah.
Well, that is interesting.
It's like my granddad, he died of lung cancer, and the medium kept on like clutching her chest and like coughing, and it sounded just like my granddad.
No way.
It was just, there's lots of little things that just convince you. I know you could easily say, oh, they could have. It's just they wouldn't.
No,
it's
I
stuff they wouldn't
wouldn't
know.
I wouldn't just call you out for just
Yeah.
chatting.
I've got
rubbish,
a
but-
ghost story as well from my dad, but I don't want to say it in case we get my dad on the show. and
Oh,
just
that'd be
ruin it.
interesting. I would love your dad on the show.
Yeah.
I haven't met him yet.
Have
but
you ever
I-
had your
I
like
love that.
the cards read?
No.
Where it tells you your future.
Tarot, is that tarot card?
Tarot.
Yeah, tarot cards.
Has anyone done a Ouija board here?
No.
I would do it. Should we get a Ouija board in?
I'd be down
Would
for
you? You'd be down.
I'd
Yeah.
be down for
I'd be down to just put my hand on it and then
go
nothing
in
happen.
to
Which is what's
that
going to happen, unless James is like, God is real, and then just starts moving it.
to that haunted house place in Salford. We should do that.
Well, one of the most haunted places in the UK is in like a mile from my house, Mitchell Priory. And
Tell us about that.
I know I haven't been there, to be fair,
Oh.
but I know Joe Weller did a documentary series where he
Alright.
went there in his what do you call it, hunting.
Exploring videos.
Yeah, So Joe
I
Weller
really
went
like
to,
those. I like all of those types of things. Have you seen? Do you watch BuzzFeed? BuzzFeed
Yeah.
Unsolved ones of the Supernatural. Do you watch them, Jack?
I did in like 2016.
Were they even out then?
All right,
Well, it-
you're not old
Sorry.
enough then.
So we'll find more up to date ghost hunting stuff. No, but I thought they're really good. I think they've got a good chemistry between them two people. This is bad radio if no one who's watching.
Are they
if no
the
one's
same guys that
listening
do the
to this
food
now.
one?
I think
Like
there's
they
some
go
of
to
them-
like the £5, £10, and then
No, that's a different group. It's just
Okay.
these two guys called Sean Shane and Ryan.
Yeah.
And Ryan believes like really heavily in all this and all that sort of stuff, and Shane's just like me, he just doesn't believe it whatsoever. And because it's just them two that go out and do it, it's quite a good thing of just like one of them's always scared and one of them's always just like. And sometimes stuff does actually happen that would be creepy, like they threw a ball down a hallway and it landed in a room, which it couldn't have got to naturally, and it was like all in one shot, so they didn't do any cuts or anything. And they went into the room to find it. And it just had in graffiti just by itself the name of the person who threw the ball, Ryan. He just said it there, which is probably which in my opinion and in Shane's opinion, so the guy who was there who doesn't believe in it, it's just a coincidence. But it is like that sort of stuff that's just a bit like ooh.
Right, and you don't believe in that. The coincidence is what?
The coincidence
went into a room and then it was said one of the guys who threw the exact ball.
Yeah, well,
and you don't believe that's.
No,
something.
so I feel like a lot of people who believe in ghosts and that sort of stuff, it's like that can't be a coincidence. I feel like mathematically, when you do maths, you start to realise. I do maths. I barely passed my A level. I got like an A. Sorry,
Mum.
Jodie. Sorry, Mum. I know you're listening. I know you don't want to be reminded of that. But yeah, I feel like when you do maths, you sort of learn about probability of stuff, and you learn like statistics, and it blows your mind. Some things you can say that it's a coincidence that it landed in a ball in a room that had Ryan in it, but say it didn't have Ryan in it, they would have just gone to pick the ball up, and then they wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
So, but 9 out of 10 times that's what happens. We're not finding coincidences like all the time. Like we probably won't find a coincidence, like a weird coincidence, whilst we're recording this podcast. But we're recording this for like a whole hour. So in that hour's time, nothing coincidental has happened. So that is like probably the way it's going to be, like mathematically. But if you do as many episodes as they've done, things are gonna happen where probability wise, coincidences are going to occur, and that's all they are, just coincidences, in my opinion. I feel like them throwing a ball and it landed in a room that says Ryan on it. Something like that's bound to happen when you do like multiple series. When you do multiple series, I think that's so much time spending with each other. How long until you find something crazy like that? I don't think very long.
Until you find your name plastered on a wall in graffiti randomly. The only coincidence with that situation would be if someone knew they was going to go there,
surely,
and then just put one of their names in the room.
Well, but I don't think so. But think about the amount of people called Ryan. Not many, but it just so happens that someone called Ryan before they went there had gone there with a spray can and sprayed his name.
But I've been into.
I mean, it isn't like they said hello Ryan. It just said Ryan. But like that's the only graffiti they ever see of anything.
I've been into abandoned buildings and I've never seen my name written.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe you would if your name was Ryan.
Yeah, but James is a more common name than Ryan.
Right. Okay.
Especially
whatever.
10,
I'm just
15
saying.
years ago.
It definitely could 100% be just a coincidence.
It could.
And therefore, for me to have to go, is it going to be a coincidence or is it proof of ghosts? Which one of them am I more likely to go for? It's a coincidence.
Proof of ghosts.
Yeah, but no. Because I understand if it's like loads and loads of things that it starts to look more and more like there is ghosts. Like there's loads of coincidences on the internet and you start like going through all like just wormholes of YouTube, finding one video that's like a weird coincidence and then another one. And then it either goes into the realm of conspiracy or into the realm of ghosts are real. And I feel like a lot of the time it's just like when you have the internet, which is like everyone's connected to each other, weird stuff's bound to happen. Like Ripley's Believe It or Not. You know about Ripley's Believe It or Not? It's like this book that you can buy each year. I'm not sure if it's annual or whatever, but it's just got loads of coincidences in it and stuff like that.
Is it not?
Because when you've got 8 billion people on the Earth, that's happened at some point.
One of the things that you go into, like where you see like the world's tallest man.
There's one in London.
There's one in LA.
Is there?
Yeah,
I've been to the one in London.
Been to one in LA.
I got scared in the mirror room because I got lost in the mirror maze. Started screaming.
Of course you did.
I was with my dad. He remembers that.
Has anyone had any weird, spooky coincidences happen to them?
God, gotta think. I don't know. Maybe that should be our homework for next episode.
Yeah.
Next episode, think of weird coincidences.
This is a weird. What's your dad called, Rennie?
That's not weird.
That's so spooky.
Wait, your dad's called Rennie? Your dad's called Rennie?
Yeah.
Man.
You're joking.
That's not that weird.
What's your
What do you mean that's not that weird? He named me. It's not like it was random. It's not like we picked a name out of the book and we both got ready. His name was Rennie, and they were like, what should we name him? We were just like, we can't think of anything. You've got a cool name.
What's your
That was my
dad's
nan that
called,
came up
James?
with that.
Touchy subject. Tony, Anthony, Stanley.
Do you want to pick one?
No, I literally can't.
Oh.
I haven't seen my dad in like 12 years.
What's your mum called?
Wendy.
What's your mum called, Rennie?
Paula. Yours is called Pauline, isn't it?
No, that's my gran.
Oh.
But spooky coincidence.
Speaking of coincidence that my mum's called Paula and your grandma's called Pauline.
Yeah.
My best friend's mum's also called Paula. Paula's a common name.
It's not that common.
We've also got surely we've got another Jack in our class.
3 of my best mates in Vancouver, or 2 of my best mates were called James.
Go surreal.
About 5 people.
Listen, you heard it here first, guys. Go surreal. We've
can't
got
think
4
of any
people.
other
4
Jacks
people in Canada
that I
called
know.
James.
Any
Yeah,
other
it's
Jacks that
over.
I know, like on the course or from uni?
My cousin's called Jack, I think.
It's a good, solid name.
It's not bad.
You need to stop playing
Is
with
it
that
short
paper.
for something?
Hackable. No,
Jackarias.
it's just Jack.
Jack or Ice?
No. Is there a longer version of it, like Jacob? Is that Jack?
No.
No, that's
Jack's.
James.
Think of the syllables.
Jacob.
Jack comes from John, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm really bad
This
with
is
names.
really
like that.
not on
Sorry.
topic. Let's be honest.
So, the closest thing to ghost stories I have is stuff that other people have told me, and at the time when they're telling me, I'm like, oh my god, that's so scary, because I don't want to insult them. But realistically, or the whole time I'm just like, well, that was just like the wind. But I can tell a couple of those. So, my house that we used to live in had like a little conjoint house next to it that we called like the apartment.
An annex.
Like an annex.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I wasn't raised in this country. So we had like
Granny
a little.
I like
how we both got that.
We had like an annex that was like a quarter of the size of the other house, but it wasn't actually like
Sorry.
you had to like move out. You had to like leave one house and then go into the other one.
Did your
So
butler take
it
you?
wasn't connected. Yeah, we got a chauffeur to drive us there, like 5 steps. No,
You sound like team.
and no one ever went in there because obviously all the bedrooms were all in the actual main house. So the only thing we used that for is my mum would do the washing. And so obviously as kids we weren't doing the washing because we were spoiled and we were just playing Call of Duty and getting violent.
You and Izzy. Jesus.
Yeah, and my older sister as well. But
You have an older sister.
yep, and that's where this story's
hot?
going. She's about to give birth.
You didn't answer
Maybe
my
she's doing it
question.
right now.
You didn't answer my question.
I've got my phone on silent. Is she hot? I'm not answering that question. Is my sister hot?
If
You
she
can-
wasn't your sister,
yeah,
would she be hot?
she's like 25. It's like as soon as you turn, as soon as you turn,
James's
like,
age.
exactly, she's your perfect age. She also has like a boyfriend. Obviously, she's giving birth to.
Is
his
he bigger
child.
than me?
I don't think so.
We can do
He's
it.
bigger like that way. He does like martial arts.
Yeah, but I did martial arts
Right, okay, you'll bang it. We'll scrap it out there. Anyway,
until I
so
was like 12.
when she's like 5 years older than me, and then my little sister's younger than me. So realistically, I'm the oldest until Elle, which is her name. And when she turned a certain age, she was like going
Just
through
explain
emo
what
phase.
the middle child was.
I just wanted to state there was no other children that like would want to basically skip it a whole forward because you ruined it. She wants to move in to this other annex, so she doesn't have to be part of like the gang. She can have her mates round. She can have like a boyfriend round, whatever. She wants to be more independent. She doesn't want to leave home, but she's basically leaving home to next door.
How old was this in the past?
I think she was probably like 15.
Okay.
Which now my little sister's 15. She wouldn't imagine doing that. But Elle was like, get me out of this now. I want to be by myself.
Yeah.
She was very independent. So she did that, and then suddenly we all thought that place was dead scary because sometimes my mum would be like, go to the we call it the apartment, go to the annex and fetch like a towel from the washroom.
Oh,
And
no.
we'd all be like,
Chores.
I don't want to go. We'd do like rock paper scissors to who had to go because you had to go, and then you had to switch the light on because it was dark inside, and then you had to like walk back through like night time in the dark. It was really scary. So we all hated going there. So we all thought it was haunted anyway. And then Elle started living there, and then weird stuff started to happen to her in there. And I would love to get her on, so maybe I won't tell too much about it, but we have like haunted, I know more like haunted places rather than haunted people, because of like people that go somewhere. Like my nan owned a pub in Manchester, and again, I would love to get my nan on that. She would be my perfect guest, would be my nan.
So you're saying there was weird noises coming out of your sister's bedroom?
Yeah, maybe that was just a cover up. No. She kept on telling us really weird stuff that happened. Whenever she tells me now, she gets like really scared about it again. So maybe I'll just get her on here for once. She can like get it off her chest.
We should all go to this annex in Spain.
Oh yeah, film a podcast from inside the annex. Yeah. Do the Ouija board in the annex.
Yeah, bang out.
That's a place where we technically own it, and we could go at it.
Exactly.
We think it's haunted, so that might be a good place. Gives you guys a little. It's in Spain, by the way. Gives you guys a little holiday to Spain as well. That's where I grew up.
Jack can pretend to speak Spanish.
Not trying to flex. It's just important.
Rennie can pretend to
just
speak
relevant.
Spanish.
I can pretend to speak Spanish because I don't speak as good enough Spanish as I should do for living there my whole life. So, I've got a haunted annex. You've got a haunted film.
Was that it? Was that the story?
I don't want to give too much of it away. I want Elle on. It's the same with you with your dad's story. This
Okay.
isn't supposed to be a proper episode.
Yeah,
this
if we
is
go
like
down-
introduction to
This is what's to
the
come.
theme. Yeah, well, this is like a trailer for the rest
Well,
of
if we
the
go down to-
episodes.
Go down to Brighton.
We're just making plans.
Near my house is Mitcham Priory,
Right.
Yeah.
haunted place in the UK,
Mhm.
and then there's also an abandoned insane asylum.
I'm saying like, yeah, let's go. Realistically, no way am I going into an insane asylum.
We'll go to.
It's abandoned. It's illegal.
Do you know
The,
We don't
Do you know
recommend.
FaZe Clan?
Yeah.
Yeah, FaZe Adapt went to it.
Right. And what, was he still with us?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Because ghosts don't exist. They would have killed him if they did.
But they are turning it into. They were turning it into housing.
Have you ever heard of someone that's died from a ghost? No.
I've heard of someone that's died and turned into a ghost.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that is usually the sort of pathway to ghosthood.
to ghosted. Yeah. Don't know.
So is the reason that you believe in ghosts even though you don't believe in more spiritual things is because you've actually heard stories about it that you believe?
Yeah.
Or do you believe in energy? You believe there's something.
I just
energy.
I believe
Energy like what? Energy
People-
like...
Everything's energy.
people's spirits, people's souls.
Is it like
they're
is it like the Force in Star Wars? It's
Yeah,
like it's just
basically.
everywhere.
It is energy.
And
It
what
is.
like ghosts can just like move through it and stuff and like alter it.
Well, you need to be about it's all about positive energy and.
Whenever you see like any ghost video, can you like would you be like, oh no, that's fake, or would you always believe it? Is it like you can like tell the ones that are like rubbish? Is there anything that you think that ghosts do and ghosts don't do? So if there's like something like a chair moving, you're like, oh, ghosts don't do that. They do like something else. They like whisper
Well,
or something.
No, yeah, but there's obviously they can't do. Well, it hasn't been caught them doing full on, like moving these mics and stuff like that. But yeah,
Right.
like.
Move the mic right now. Imagine.
But in.
Shh. If there's a ghost in this room, move any of the mics.
I'm sure Media
Got
City
four.
is a
I know.
hotspot for ghosts.
It
Yeah,
is. It is.
it's a bit
It is a
modern.
brand new building.
It was
so
built
realistically-
on-
Yeah, but it's the dockyards, isn't it?
Do
Might-
anything
Might
weird.
see.
Turn the lights off. Stop the cameras from recording. Is that one?
But in. Yeah, it's still.
Edit it so it stops recording and be like.
Yeah. Okay. When I'm editing this, like pass in front of the camera or
it'd be
something
like,
so I can
JK.
see it. Do you believe in that sort of stuff that like ghosts can only like affect us and stuff that we've
Don't hit
recorded?
my camera. But in Joe Weller's documentary that his last one,
Right.
he went to one of the most haunted hotels
Yeah.
and he stayed in the room, and then they left the room and there's
He's
a teddy
Yeah.
that when you touch it, it lights up, and then they left the teddy on the bed and they left the room, and while they were gone, it lit up.
Yeah, but that's the same sort of thing as like when we set up these cameras. Chances are they're not very sturdy. One of them's just going to slip.
Yeah, but it's a teddy that you need to fully grasp to like make
Yeah,
it
but
light
do you
up.
though? Like, is there something inside it that's like a little bit wonky, or like I don't know? Like when people
No.
are
Why are
making
you
these
doubting
things.
technology?
Surely, the person who sells that teddy, right? The person who sells that teddy that needs to be they want people to think that this thing like actually does something.
Like, it's not a teddy that.
So they'll probably just program it
Fine
just like
place.
every so seconds do a little light.
What do you think of
Freak
No,
people out.
you know
Not
like
true.
haunted
I think it might be.
items? I don't know what it's called, but like the haunted dolls. Have you seen
Right,
that?
yeah. I've
clip on
got
this
a
Like,
story
story
of one of
what
them.
Annabelle is and.
Yeah,
along
but
the
like
concept.
on this morning they like put it in a box somewhere, and then they leave the house, and it somehow like
this
the box
morning?
fell on the floor and the doll's out, and also like as they're sleeping they have like scratch marks.
They
from
want
the doll.
views, isn't it? As soon as anyone's doing anything for views again, that's like a way to just like, okay,
that's
there
great.
is an
Yeah.
out with this. Like maybe this isn't real because these people want to
Well,
actually people to watch.
That's such a
You know what I mean?
millennial
I think
mindset, though.
that's
It is,
so-
though.
that's-
It's like Joe
that's
Weller.
well ignorant.
If
not
Joe,
being funny.
right, okay, if Joe Weller's done like a series of these things, right? If in the first one that he did nothing happened, like nothing,
Mm.
then no one's going to watch the next one, are they? And it just happens that no one did watch. Nothing really did happen in the first one, and
can't
people
remember.
because they're like Joe Weller, they want to watch the next one. But realistically, if you're like a little start-up, a little haunted start-up thing, like realistically, the best thing we could do to make this podcast go viral
Let me
is
tweet-
like
let me tweet
make
out.
some sort of thing happen so that I'm like move the microphone and it moves. People want their stuff. They're like ghosts. We're looking for ghosts. They want to actually find ghosts, obviously. So if they don't, which they probably won't, they'll just make it seem like they have
Nah.
money.
Yeah, but that's. What about ghosts like 20 years ago, 30 years ago when we weren't filming shit?
Yeah, I would like to see some. I would like to see more than just your.
Alright, let me
I
build my
would, I would
sister.
like. I would like to see. I like to see. We'll put it on. We'll get some sort of social medias going for this show. I would like to. I would.
I'll tweet it out.
If you can get that footage, I would love that.
I'll
I
tweet
really
it out.
would.
See what I
Any
can-
sort of footage like that that's ours.
Follow me on Twitter, James Hartley TV. Try to get me to 100k again.
Okay, again. Oh my god! Try and get me to like 600 followers.
Yeah, I think I'm down 6k from 100.
I've got a meme page. at Salford University.
Is it you?
That's pretty shit.
Who's running it?
It's a ghost.
Exposed.
Do you know Alex Charles?
Yes.
Everyone's thinking it's him, like the other side of the course.
Well, they're in for a shock
Is
when they
this-
find out
is
it's
this
me.
A confirmation.
Confirmation that it's
Edit
me.
it
Even though
out.
no one's going to listen to this. It's not like the other people are going to. It's not like the other groups going to listen to this and be like, oh, we listened to that, and if we found out it's him. They don't care about our podcast. They care about their podcast. I'll tell you who's listening to this right now. Mum. Big up my mum. Big up my mum. Big up my dad. Big up my aunties and that. Big up my girlfriend. Anyone to big up, guys?
Me. Big up James Hartley.
Big up James Hartley.
Big up. I don't know. I don't know who's listening.
Big up Corby.
Big
Corby.
Up, big up my nan.
Yeah, Samuel Lloyd Weatherspoon and Corby. Hopefully you're all listening.
The Weatherspoons in my shitty little town that I live near to, of Helsham, got voted the best Weatherspoons in East Sussex.
Really? That's good.
Oh no, not even East Sussex, Sussex.
I-
It's awful. I was
only-
there on Christmas Eve last year.
I've only just
It's not fine,
discovered
I'm
the world
talking.
of Weatherspoons because we don't have that sort of thing in Spain, like a chain of bars. It doesn't really happen. Like
Pubs.
slug and lettuce
Yeah,
here
but-
and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you just have independent bars.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Tapas.
But you've got independent bars, but they're all owned by Weatherspoons. I don't even know how that works. But that's not a ghost story either.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've met the founder of Weatherspoons.
Was he haunted? Was he a ghost?
Yeah, well, he looked like one. He looked like Mr. Megorium, wasn't he? Mr.
He
What
should be the
was
stupid
it?
BNP prick.
Magic Emporium. He's not BNP, he's Brexit.
Same fucking thing. Didn't vote to stay.
Politics. We've now got politics on the checklist. Politics, football, religion, geography. Weatherspoons.
Banging.
Sounds like a good podcast to be.
Cool.
Because there's not much to talk about ghosts.
Because
They're not real.
we need to do like research for next week. I think next week we should all come in with like a researched ghost story, and also we'll get a guest in as well. Just
I'll
so we have
tweet it out to my followers.
Yeah.
See what we can
Yeah,
do.
go on then.
Tweet
Big
it
Big
out to all of
James.
the
Big James and all his
13-year-old
fans.
girls on your
They're all about. They're
Tweet it out
all,
to all your 14-year-old boys.
they're all about 22 now, probably.
Nice. All grown up with you.
Yeah, they have all grown up with me.
You like Selena Gomez. Need to branch out to something else so you get some new fans.
I wish I was
Do some music or something.
Selena, if she's listening, she can come through and.
Selena Gomez, in case you're listening to this podcast, James wants you. I think that's a
But
good
don't
place.
write a song about me, please.
That's it.
Right, thank you very much for listening. I've been Rennie.
Was that it?
Yeah.
It's a bit shit.
It's only supposed to be like a 30-minute thing. We haven't got a guest. We're
So,
listening to... Okay,
we don't
guess
need
what ghost
guests.
stories have you got?
Next week
We don't need to rely on guests.
have more.
No, because we don't need to rely on guests, but we could have a really good conversation about BMP. But
Here's-
I'm here not having any ghost stories because I don't believe in it. He's here having one good ghost story that he's waiting for his dad to tell. And you've told us your one ghost
No.
story about some, like, paper in the window. It's like,
Here's-
oh, it's a ghost!
It's still a ghost, aye.
Here's a preview of next week's episode. Ooh, it's a real life ghost. There you go. That should keep them interested, intrigued. Right.
Confirmed.
Let's
Next
wrap
week's
it up.
episode has an actual ghost in it.
Yeah.
That our guest is just a ghost. Okay.
Clickbait.
Thank you for
Scooby-Doo, bro.
listening. I really hope I didn't just knock over the cameras with my knock.
No.
Okay, thank you very much for listening. Next week we will be joined hopefully by a guest that will be telling us all about their ghost stories. We can actually
A
get
guest
some,
or a ghost?
a guest or a ghost. A guest with a ghost.
Our ghost. That's what we should call
Guest
the
ghost.
guest.
Should we rename it from the Lights Out podcast to the guest ghost or to the ghost?
Yeah, actually do.
ghost.
That's quite good.
I don't think so. The guest ghost. It's not actually going to be a ghost.
Maybe
It's
we
too
should
late
just-
to change the name. I've made the logo.
Can we say? Or is that?
This has been Dead Air, and we will see you next week.
No. Okay, we could
We
talk
actually
about
can't say that. Can
No, we wanted to call the show Dead Air, but it's taken. That's really it. There is actually a Lights Out podcast, but you don't get in trouble for having a podcast that someone's already got the name of. It's like it just happens all the time, doesn't it?
Copyright infringement, though.
No.
just life, innit?
No. We've got nothing. We are not affiliated with any other show called Lights Out.
Well, I'm not going to call my
Oh,
podcast
Dead Air.
JRE Experience. No, am I?
Experience. Nice one. Big up Joe Rogan.
It's not even JRE Experience. It's JRE
Joe Rogan.
Experience. Yeah, it's not Joe Rogan Experience.
JREE.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Sound.
Thank you very much for your guys' ghost stories. Or for your ghost story, James, which is a bit rubbish.
Whoa! Don't put your guess down, mate. I can guess I'm host.
Give me a
Yeah.
good ghost story
I've
then.
got-
You can't.
You didn't let us fucking do any research. You're like, oh, we're going to do this and talk. And I was
We don't
like,
need to do
"Oh,
research.
Rennie's literally
This is
just
not.
been like,
We don't
ghosts
need to do
aren't real.
research. Oh yeah.
Ghosts aren't real.
Ghosts aren't real.
Well, what's
But
the
why?
point?
What do you mean, but why?
They are.
No, they're not.
What happens when you die?
Prove it to me. I don't have to prove it to you. You're like, this weird thing
Prove
exists
me they're not.
that none of us can see.
Prove to
How
me
do
they're
I
not
have to
real.
believe they're not real? Prove to me you're not real. Okay. Hello?
You're not ghosts aren't everywhere.
Do you want me to go everywhere and say hello?
Yeah.
And wait for a response.
Obviously,
And then when I
a
get
ghost
hello
wouldn't
back,
on
it'll be
this
human.
podcast.
Imagine if we filmed a ghost on this podcast.
Imagine if a ghost just walked in.
Rennie, you're wrong.
We'd be like,
Ronnie, fuck off.
You'd be like, bang. Sorted.
so yeah, next week we'll come back with some actual good ghost stories.
What I want to happen is I want someone
Which
to come on
aren't
here
from,
and
like,
give me a
2
story so
decades
good it
ago.
makes me believe.
Okay, well,
That's the thing. We need to find guests. We need to find stories.
when
you
we
guys
get
can
my
tell me stuff.
father.
Make me believe. That's the new objective of this season of the show. Make me believe in ghosts.
So yeah, that's a little insight into what our podcast will entail.
Welcome and why am I saying welcome? Thank you.
And goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the pilot episode of hopefully the most successful podcast that the world has ever seen. I mean, I think it's got potential.
It's better than $9,000 a year.
It is better than $9,000 a
Yeah.
year.
Let's be honest.
Get called out. That's another podcast that is being made by Utter Radio. You don't need to listen to it. It's not very good.
I think I'm guest on it next week.
Yeah, they're going to be our first guests. They're going to just slag us off the whole time. They're going to be the worst ghost stories. No, they're going to be great.
Nah,
Yep.
Aiden's probably got a few. He's got the one about him saving a girl from dogging.
Let's not say they're going to be the next guest on because we haven't really confirmed that yet. So it could be anyone. But I can promise you that there will be a guest. So next week we will be asking our special guests what their best ghost stories are, or their parents' ghost stories, or something like that. And at some point we will get Jack's dad on to tell us about.
You say James is dead, dad.
We'll get James's dead dad on. No, sorry, I don't know if he's dead.
To me, he is.
Okay, cool. We'll get Jack's dad on to tell
Yeah.
us about his ghost stories. We'll get mine on at some point, and Elle to talk us through the stories of the annex.
Does Elle live in Manchester?
Stories of the annex. No, but she
in-
comes here all the time. So
Does she?
well, she's currently having a baby, so she can't get on a plane. But
How far gone is she?
really
Like, is
far
she
gone.
literally
Like,
about
no,
to
Oh,
drop?
she's past it.
Past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was waiting in Spain not to come back here so that I could see it.
I wish she stayed in
see
Spain.
it.
I'd be like, hi. And they'd be like, ah!
See ya.
I'd be like, do you know any ghost stories? We'll get the baby on.
Get the baby. Yeah.
Get the baby on the podcast.
No, because babies consent ghosts, can't they?
Sure.
That's dogs, isn't it?
And like cats.
I've got
I'll
a
get my
friend. I've
cats
got a
on.
friend who's got some really spooky ones. We've got loads of people. We've got loads of people lined up. We've got more guests than we've got episodes planned.
And if we
Or
get
episodes
time.
possible.
if
yeah,
we get
time.
desperate, we'll just put it
We
in
can-
the
we can-
Union
yeah, we can only do-
Salford Facebook thing.
Yeah, we can only do one of these a week. But if at some point we got more guests wanting to do this, then I'm sure I don't mind doing like 2 a week. Right. So thank you, James, for being here. I wasn't expecting you to actually do this. I was like, when we were like, oh, let's plan a thing, and James was like, yeah, I'll do it. I was expecting him to just come and just be like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. But thank you for sticking through it. You're the only person here who has actually supplied us today with a proper ghost story, as bad as it was. The ghost story being my sister's cousin's ex-boyfriend's fish has got a video of a baby, and that baby knows someone who got a video of a piece
But
of
that's
paper going past a window.
It's still a
I'm-
legit,
I'm- I'm-
2002.
but my sister told me about it when I was 7, so it's real.
it's still a legit story.
Still a legit story. Fair enough. Better than anything I've come up with today.
Why do you believe in other things? Like, it's all just
I don't
stories
believe-
passed
I don't
down.
believe in anything.
You don't believe in anything?
I believe
I
in
believe in
ghosts
what I can see and what scientists
because I
say.
do. And that's
Why do you
the
believe
only
what
thing.
scientists say?
Because they use a scientific method, which I trust.
Why?
Because it just makes the most sense. If
Yeah.
you don't think the scientific method makes sense, then don't believe in science. But also just get left behind with the rest of society that thinks that way.
But Jack believes that the Earth's still flat.
Do you actually?
What?
You believe the Earth's flat?
No.
You have to think about that.
I got confused. I was
What do you
like,
mean,
does
no?
flat mean round? It's been a long
Spherical.
yeah,
It's a
I
sphere.
believe. Well, it's not actually. What's it called? Geoid. That's the
Sure.
actual
yeah,
name of
Because
it.
the
correct.
points at the
Yeah,
northern.
because
like
it goes up
rough
and
and
down.
North
It's not a
and
perfect
south.
sphere.
It's on its axes.
Yeah. Correct.
Axis.
Very
Axis.
good.
Axes.
Right. I
Very
did
good,
A-level
boys and girls.
geography. As it goes. As it goes.
As it goes.
As it goes.
Thank
There you
you, me, for hosting this. No problem. Thanks to my co-hosts for being here with me, James and Jack. Go follow
Wow.
them on things. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You just got to find them. It's
I've already
it's a
said
new
that.
age. Just put their names in. I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll be the first
You'll
ones. They'll be
find
very
me.
famous. Thank you for everyone
actually
who's been
am.
listening. Thank you for our future guests.
I actually am.
Thank you for the ghosts in this room present currently. We appreciate you being here.
Actually, no, thank you.
Actually, no, thank you.
To the
There's
guys.
the door. Please leave. Actually, no.
Exit.
Come back. Make us known. Make it known that you're here. Show us your presence. Don't harm us. Then leave. I mean, surely you want people to know.
No.
Want to stop knocking on the thing?
That's not me.
Or was that the ghost?
No, Skepta.
On that note, we'll finish there.